You know what? Let's just go. Let's just start. First, I'd like to welcome everyone back to the Mogul Empire, but we're calling this one Return to Ruin, the epic campaign. And we're back with some familiar heroes of ours and whatever Elspeth is. But what we're going to do to begin with, obviously, is go around the VTT, the virtual table, and maybe have a little catch up to remind people of what you were doing in the last decade. It's been 10 years since the defeat of the King in Yellow in the skies above Midgard. And it's also been 7 years, coincidentally, since the release of Chester Decker and the Lemony Asteroid, granting fame to a lot of you. Weirdly, it's one of those things that where when you go to introduce yourself to certain people in Midgard, they go, "Oh, so you're named after those guys in the book," and that's when you realise that Chester's an arsehole. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll start quite peacefully, actually. Alwyn, in Naloth, an island that you have risen from the sea. It gently slopes upwards towards tiled roofs and soaring towers. Beyond that, the grey clouds of Storm's Wreck fucking hell. Storm's Rest Rock.
5 times quick.
Storm's Rest Rock. Got it. They highlight the horizon in like greys and flashes, and from your balcony, your marble balcony, leaning on the balustrade, Anna turns to you. Her hair is done up in braids. She has a slight grey streak travelling down the side of one of her head at the moment, where magic has been dampening her hair colour of late, where she's been studying certain magics. But she does turn to you and say, "Looks like a storm's coming," and she stands. Says, "I best get the kids to bed." She puts one hand on your shoulder, and then she kind of runs her hand across your chin line and goes, "The beard does suit you, love." And she kisses you, and then walks off. As you peer out, you see the sea, you hear gulls, and you can see that storm cloud. What would Alwyn be doing?
Well, that's Neil fucking Omen, isn't it?
What would he be doing with his evening?
Oh, blimey. 10 years in. Probably wondering where his dad's gone.
Yeah, would you have...
the little gnome. Because we haven't discussed that. And I'm curious to see where their adventure took them.
What are we talking about here? Remind me. You meant the vision of your dad, right?
Yeah, Solinus and his dad.
Gwandir and
Solinus. The
Solinus.
rocket to space. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we'll do a little catch up with you there, Alwyn. So, in the last few years, messages from Gwandir and Solinus have been rare. They're taking longer to get to you. The last one you got was 2 years ago, where Gwandir said that him and Solinus were preparing to repair a tear in the crystal sphere. And that was the last you heard from him.
Then, of the evening, I'm sitting on my balcony, enjoying Grashnian wine, looking concerned at the storm incoming.
And as you pour yourself a glass, Anna returns within the hour, sits on the chair opposite, pours herself wine, picks up the book that she was reading earlier and continues, puts her feet up. There's a moment where, you look at concern at that storm on the horizon and you see flashes of lightning. And I mean, you remember being there a decade ago, meeting a certain someone, and how that led to you travelling to that parallel universe, seeing your father become corrupt and die in a different realm. as you sit there and watch the storm approach, we move over to Chester. Chester, in Longinia, on the Decker estate. It's quiet in the house, which is unusual. Normally you're able to hear Maisie somewhere, but it's quiet. You sit at your desk. It's only recently that you've tidied the place up after the battle with Xerxil. And some of your work's been blown away into the portal that opened up behind you. But it's been tidied up by the maid. What would give me your input, or what you would be doing, or what Chester's been up to?
Chester's sat at his Chesterfield, which is obviously his own name for his desk, and he's currently scribbling in a diary, just making some notes. A stream of consciousness, if you will. And as he's writing, he's just musing and sort of creating some various different ideas for his latest book. It's been a while since I have penned anything of note. Perhaps I should start a new novelette, if I will. Perhaps Chester Decker and the Lemony Asteroid 2. I need something clever. Revenge of the Del Fuego La Arachna, perhaps. It would be fun if they return. Perhaps I should throw in some spice. Some of the old characters. It's been some time since I've slain the King in Yellow. Nigh on single-handedly. I restored my estate and wealth in Longinia. That could go in. Married Maisie. That was very delightful. Golden fountain in the atrium, a statue of me, perhaps, upon the moon, battling, the very spectre that was the king. Lanneiros, of course, will need to be a failed insurance underwriter in the Fae. Perhaps his family having deserted him. He is inches from shame and death. Of course, that would be where he is. Elspeth will need to be a drunk, wandering around telling anyone who would listen that she now owns the moon. Alwyn will need to start a boy band of some description. The record label, of course, would not take them. He probably now plays seedy bars in Port Phobos, begging sailormen for pennies and a good time. I believe it is time for a reunion of old. Perhaps I should do some market research for this new absolute masterpiece. Perhaps it's time for a school reunion.
Obviously, Todd, well done. You always impress. Is that your way of saying that you're leaving Longinia?
He's going to stand up from his desk and look out the window. It's been a while. It's like, It has been time since I've had some fresh novelette material. Maisie! Maisie!
There's no answer.
Right, well, I'm off. Picks up a backpack and starts to just walk down the road. No general direction. Leaving various different places, but probably going to try some old haunts. It's about time he had some glory to write about again.
Alright, so you head on into the big city, and we'll get straight back to you. So, we'll jump over to Elspeth. So, deep within the market district of Atlantia, in a very well-to-do street, with shiny cobbles and narrow streets, pretty idyllic. And idyllic in the way that only elves live here. And as the camera swoops past these elvish, idyllic, narrow streets, it stops on a door. Elspeth. Inside this workshop.
Elsa's workshop is like, on a shopping street where a storefront is very small from the outside. It's literally just one door. And Elsa's is a staircase down. It just winds down into like a big atrium at the very bottom. It's just Elspeth in the middle on a single anvil, surrounded by a lot of strung up dead warforged, all dismantled.
Okay.
Trying to forge one herself for like probably the 12th time this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of scrap about you. But, so, in Atlantia, let me describe the setting. Atlantia has that sort of, that port city feel everywhere. So, despite where you are, anywhere in Atlantia, it smells like the sea breeze. Atlantia's always been warm, never cold, being where its position is in the world, and that the city's cramped because it was risen from the sea some centuries ago, and real estate is precious, right? So everything's expanded upwards, but it's quite good that Elspeth has expanded downwards. It's quite reflective of her personality, don't you think? That she's decided to go down into dungeons instead of up like everyone else is, reaching for the sky or the heavens. So, is there anything else you would like to introduce Elspeth?
No. Elsef told Chester at the end of the last campaign to keep her the fuck out of his stupid book, and I don't think he did.
No.
So probably in Atlantia, Elsef isn't even going by Elsef. It just says elf on the door.
Definitely included you.
Mm. And
she probably has avoided absolutely everyone for the last 8 years. Except whoever she needs to talk to smuggle more corpses into her little abode.
Every time you go out as well, there's always that fucking yearly pantomime of Chester Decker and the Lemony Asteroid. You always see the adverts.
That book.
Yeah, there's always adverts, there's always some sort of like poster somewhere. And even when it isn't that time of the year, there's always like a ripped up poster on a shop front or something. And yeah, so we'll jump over to Lanneiros. So Lanneiros, not even on Midgard, but in the Feywild. Totemic Falls, your home. Pretty much unchanged. A decade may have felt like a century to you there. To be fair, time doesn't mean much in the Feywild. But time has gone by, and you have achieved and done things in the Feywild, in Totemic Falls. And in the time that you've been there, the Feyfather vanished. Rumours abound, taken off with an army, ripped back to the void from whence he came. But Lanneiros, you know that can't be true, because you've been to the material plane, and you've looked up into the night sky, and you have seen the moon itself. Therefore, Vagor, the Feyfather, is still out there somewhere. What he's up to, you don't know. Like I say, there are rumours. He's been taken back to the void. He's building an army of voidlings. Even his sons have vanished. So, there's that.
Family affair.
Mm-hmm.
So, douchebags.
What would Lanneiros have been up to in the Feywild?
Well, he'll check on his brother maybe once or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Aside from that, he'll just try and see if there's someone suitable to take over from the Feyfather, and if they need some help, advice, etc. to do so. He definitely doesn't want to take over the role himself, but he'll look to either groom someone to take it or help someone who's ready to make sure there's no power vacuum. It's never good.
Yep. So, on a day-to-day basis, where would we find Lanneiros? Currently in the court or at home?
Probably at the court most of the time.
That's fair. So, on the usual day-to-day business, Lanneiros, there is a moment where the court falls hush. The usual hubbub of talking and the buzz of creatures flying overhead stops to watch your brother Tavin, who should be on the material plane. He sweeps in, a bit dramatic, his autumn red robes, almost toga-like, flung over his shoulder. You see he's wearing kind of like the fashion of Nuneria, rather than what he would normally wear on the... Seeing as it's really hot in Nuneria. And as he walks in, he gives his greetings to people, and he eyes you, and walks straight towards you, Lanneiros. Brother.
Yes.
I come... It's good to see you too. I don't know how long it's been for you, but it's been some time. I do not come bringing ill will or anything of Nuneria. It goes well. I've left the bugbear in charge. He nods.
And it goes well, you say.
Well, no. Well, when it comes to the city, yes. I have not come bringing news about the city. I've come bringing news about other things that may concern you and your old friends.
Very well.
Well, 3 days...
Shall we sit?
Excuse me?
Shall we sit?
Of course. And he leads to one of the oak benches set up that's got growth coming out of it. He sits down. 3 days ago, Mimu had a vision. A vision that thunder would clash with stone. And she said a writhing head of snakes bit her. She has the marks to prove it, Lanneiros. She was bitten in her dream by a swarm of snakes. Well, and it came real. We always know that her visions are confusing, but they tend to be of encroaching danger. The clash of thunder and stone came true this morning.
What happened?
Well, in the middle of the moonlit shield, in the middle of the palace, while we were discussing the usual boring today stuff, there was a flash and a creature teleported into the palace halls. This creature, a dragonborn, I believe he is the Storm Soul. Goes by the name Kroll. Well, when he appeared, let's just say he wasn't doing well. He had arrows protruding from his back. A lot of them. And as he smashed into the table and our party, basically drew weapons, wondering if we were under attack, he held up a rod of sorts with what looked like a map or a globe on top. And he slowly but surely turned to stone. And his last words were, Chester Decker. I mean...
Surprised.
Yes, but we'd still have a statue of Kroll or a petrified Kroll laying on our palace table. I don't know what this means, but I've come to you because, well, I do believe this may concern your friends. Chester Decker was mentioned by name. I've got... I don't know if unpetrifying him is a good idea. This is why I've come to you and your friends. The amount of blood that he left behind says he was he was mortally wounded.
I see. And has anything else been investigated? Happened to him prior? Where did he teleport in from?
We have no idea, and that is why we've come to you.
Hmm.
I did try to contact your friend, Alwyn. But his business in Nalov keeps him, well, let's just say, scrying on him is not the easiest feat. Of finding him, that is.
I see. Well, sounds like I need to go and pay him a visit.
First, would you come with me to the Moonlit Shield?
I can, but I'll need an hour or two.
He nods. I'll be here. Find me in the hall. He stands and leaves.
Yeah, and Lanneiros will go and gather his things.
Okay.
Get ready to go.
Alright, so as you get ready to go and meet him outside, he's ready to, plane shift back to the material plane. But both of you being fey creatures, obviously you are unaffected by the whole time warping nonsense. Mm-hmm. And after the spell is cast and the flash of light and you travel through the greeny white tunnel, landing in material plane, immediately, Lanneiros, you remember the unbearable heat of Nuneria, even inside this marbled hall. And as you stand there in front, you see him, you haven't seen him in a while, but you do see him, Makra, sitting at the edge of the table, feet up. And he startles as you appear, stands, nods, Been some time.
It has.
I'm just here to guard. Okay. And he like picks up this huge warhammer, hefts it onto his shoulders, and then looks up Kroll Mella, and you can see him a statue from, from snout to toes. He's petrified, and he's holding aloft this rod or like staff, and you recognize it. Like it's petrified because he's holding it, but it's the same. It's the same attunement rod that Alwyn has to get him to ruin.
Right. I don't know where he came from, but I can probably guess where he's been. Anyway, let's get back to that later. Make sure he's not moved. And that he's well protected.
Tavbin nods, of course, and it is done. Macro just sits there and goes, "Look, you're giving me triple time for this, so I'll stay as long as you want." And Tavbin nods and agrees. Okay, so what would be your first port of call be, Lanneiros?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, you do know where, like, Alwyn is. So there's that. Like, your brother might not, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm just hopping over and teleporting there.
Alright, yep. So, teleporting to Naloth is one of those things where you teleport in and you realise just how the populace is enchanted. Like, magic is everywhere. The moment you teleport in, the air is, like, physically charged with it. They've, like, harnessed the weave here to the point of almost making it, like, commonplace. Nobody in Naloth, isn't a spellcaster, Like, even kids that are running around know how to cast cantrips and, little, illusions and things. And as you walk through the streets, you can see what Alwyn's done with the place. It's become, like, a thriving, bustling centre. And you can see many ships in the harbour as well. So, not only that, but trade stops here. And as you walk up, you remember Alwyn's place, and you approach his tower. And as you walk towards it, Alwyn, a magic mouth appears on the table and begins to immediately go, "Alright, so you got someone at the door? Wizardy elfy type. He's wearing robes. He's got that kind of sweeping eyebrow look. Oh yeah, I'll just show you an illusion." And an illusion comes out, showing you Lanneiros.
Alright, thank you. I'll head down.
Mm-hmm. As you head down the spiral stairs and out onto the main floor, as you walk towards the door, Lanneiros, the door opens in front of you. Big double doors. Before you see Alwyn, but with a beard.
That's the biggest change yet.
Yeah, he has a goatee.
Well, some things don't change. Some things do.
Certainly do. It's good to see you again. It's been a long time.
Has. What's happened?
Got older.
Mm-hmm. No longer boy bandy.
Backstreet Boys up in E17.
Backstreet's back again.
Let me have a look. So,
Boyband 2020 rather than Boyband 1990.
I mean, do you want to see what he went from? So.
I know. That's sure.
Oh, look at young Alwyn. All right.
It's been a while since I've seen you here. Is this a social visit?
No.
No. I don't know why I get my hopes up at times. Shall we go in to discuss?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, the storms just reached the tower, and behind you guys just hear the the downpour and the crack of lightning in the sky.
I'll lead Lanneiros into the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you head up to the solar. You see Anna is closing the doors to the balcony, and she's got like the 2 glasses and the wine, and she turns and goes, "Shall I get an extra?"
I think you probably should.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. She does head only across the solar, opens up Alwyn's drinking cabinet with all the crystal glassware, grabs another, pops it down, swishes the bottle and goes, "Think we're going to need another," and then disappears down into the basement.
So what could I do for you, Lanneiros?
Well, that's the question. So my brother came to me and he mentioned that the Storm Soul ended up in the throne room, almost dying, got petrified, and before petrified, just said Jesse Decker, because of course he did.
I shouldn't be surprised, but yet here I am still.
He's holding the tumor rod to ruin.
What's Chester been doing over there?
Yeah, that's the question. Either way, there was this was preceded by a vision from Mimu.
That's never good.
Stone and thunder clashed. Well, we can see what the thunder is. We can also see what the stone is. Him now, and in the vision there was a writhing head of snakes that bit Mimu.
Snakes that bit Mimu.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that Stormsoul went up against some form of Medusa, some form of Gorgon. Was riddled with arrows. Just managed to teleport before the petrification set in.
I mean, I guess the method, it fits the bill, I guess.
Yeah, but why there and why Chester?
Honestly, haven't the foggiest. If it's Chester Decker, then all cards are off the table as far as I'm concerned. Could literally be anything. Do you know where he is? Have you seen him at all? It must have been at least 8 years since I've seen him.
Without a doubt, it's publishing more gravel that for some reason everyone likes.
Yeah, that stuff.
What I'm concerned about is that which Chester Decker was he talking about?
That's another good point. Oh, planes, they're a funny old thing.
Oh, the Rune Chester Decker was kind of a dick.
He was.
You quite left him behind.
Sure, you know, motive.
Maybe it's worth finding our Chester Decker, at least. Get some kind of say-so from him on whether he's involved or not.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon go to him, or shall we find Elspeth first once found?
What?
I'd say we get Elspeth. Yeah, why not? I mean, at least it'll be 3 versus 1 then, if he is causing problems.
Mm. Yeah, the first might be.
Am I lagging or is Ollie lagging?
Oh no, he's
No, it's
lagging.
lagging.
He's lagging a little bit.
I'm not lagging
Peach.
from you, you're lagging from me,
Yeah.
so that's weird.
Yeah, your voice is lagging. Speak.
Hello, Alwyn.
Speak more.
Oh, hi there.
That's,
Wow.
that's like a...
a robot. Let's see if he's fixing that.
Oh, I forgot how good role-playing was. It's classic. All the Discord issues come back.
No better?
I don't think so.
Not by much, but keep going. I'll see what I can do.
Well. So, do we know where Elspeth is? I don't. I just remember her leaving, saying it's basically farewell until never.
To be honest, I don't know where Chester Decker is, but I got the feeling it's probably not that difficult to find him. It's probably somewhere in Longinia, and it'll be the most opulent, disgusting fucking place you've ever seen. I'm sure if you just go to Longinia, pick any random street, find someone, and just ask them, what's the gaudiest house you've ever seen? And they'll point Chester out. Oh, that's right. I can't hear, so I'm just guessing and forgetting.
So we all sound fine. Oh, he's gone. He's gone again.
I want to go back to Skype. I wonder how Skype is these days.
Yeah, well.
Let's just chat over MSN, it'll be faster.
Let's boot up ICQ.
Yes. Let's do it.
I'll come back on.
Better?
By the look of your webcam, which is basically 5 pixels, very big, I want to say probably not.
Oh no.
I wonder what's going on with Anna's.
The baby has chewed through the line. It's got into the copper cables.
How do I change the server on Discord to see if it fixes it?
Don't remember. They made it really convoluted a while back, and I can never remember where the fuck it is.
It doesn't want you to fix its issues.
Yeah, well, this is what. I don't know what to. I mean, we kind of need you guys to be role playing to move this ahead. Speak again.
What we do is we just get Arnie just to move his mouth, and then Todd will read lips and interpret.
Yep.
But to your question on where Elspeth could be, again, I don't know, but Joe always had a workshop, always had a shop to sell stuff, so it's got to be public facing. I'm sure it's not particularly, it's like it's off the map or something. We could probably find it. I mean, she's got to be pretty good at her job, right? So it's going to be fairly famous. Just try a few major capitals and we'll be there.
So is that try to find Chester first?
Oh, I think the idea was Elspeth.
Okay.
That's why I said Elspeth.
Do neither of you have scry?
I'm a sorcerer.
Alright.
Oh, there's also sending. We'll send Elspeth a message.
Yeah, there's that.
Elspeth, where the fuck you at?
Sending allows me to respond, right?
Yep.
She just sends back why.
Me and Lanneiros want to know. There's random shit happening, and it's probably Chester's fault.
Is he dead?
Not yet.
Shame. Atlantia. Then she gives her address.
Nice.
Right, I've got the address, Lanneiros. Did you want that wine, or should we be heading off?
Try speaking now, Anna. See what happens.
Hello.
Yeah, you're better. You're back to usual.
Still quiet though.
Maybe some bike drove through
Yes.
a data line.
I didn't. My
I know.
connection's completely fine.
So Yeah, well, it's all good now, so let's continue on. So,
No, I think if we're going to be trying to find Chester, I need some wine.
Right.
yeah, Anna
We'll
puts the
wait
new
for it to
bottle.
come back then.
Yeah, Anna puts the new bottle down and says, she kisses you on the top of the head, Alwyn, and then says, "I'm assuming you're leaving at some point."
I'm afraid to say I'm probably going on a trip, yes.
She nods.
Do you mind staying behind?
Of course not, darling.
Sorry to whisk him away from you.
That's okay. He needs a holiday. It's been 7 years since our last visit, and that's the time when I was our last holiday, and I was pregnant at that time. So it wasn't exactly the most relaxing holiday in the Broken Realms, or the United Realms, you're called.
She just wants me out of her hair because I'm getting in the way of her research, she keeps saying.
Oh no. yeah, you kind of are.
That's fine. I won't be gone too long anyway, hopefully.
It's okay. Just let me know if you travel off well.
Will do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So some drinks I had then, and then
To shenanigans.
it's like it's like drunk. You're not getting drunk, are you? Because drunk and teleporting can end disastrously.
No, just
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
anymore, I can't. We're epic level.
That's very true. Okay. And after the drinks are done, we'll move over. So Chester, this evening, where does this evening find Chester in Longinia?
To be honest, probably not very far. He's walked up the road, got a little bit tired because he's kind of fat and old now, and then has decided he's probably going to go back. And as he stumbles back across the threshold of his house, he's like, "Maisie! Good Maisie! I would like some dinner placed upon my table."
Poor woman.
Once again, you don't hear anything from Maisie.
Where the fuck is she?
Well, I just hope he's got a fat token made.
He kind of sort of like stumbles around the house for a little bit, because his first initial kind of plan was to go out and try and find his friends, but then he remembered that his friends probably didn't live in Longinia, and has now failed to find Maisie as well. So, in all honesty, he's probably going to head out to his local, the local area that he normally plays a gig at each night, just to sort of like stir a crowd up and relive some past fame.
Yeah, so you head towards the Wretched Swan. Once you're there, people know you. It's not a like a dive bar or like an underclass tavern. This place, it's the place where it's like nearly like 2 gold for a glass of wine here.
Yeah, I don't think he'd go anywhere cheap. To be fair, I say seedy. Like he'd go somewhere good.
As you walk up to the door, the bouncer, the big like half ogreish, like tan skin, rippling muscles, sees you coming, and then in a squeaky voice, "Oh, welcome, Chester. VIP booth?
Ah, please, good nibbles."
Come in." And he opens up the velvet rope, and you walk across the hall. People see you come in and they're like, "Oh, that's Chester Decker." And one of them goes, "But have you heard of him?" And then you're led towards your booth, and a barmaid walks towards you. The usual, Chester?
Please, and I'm feeling particularly generous today. I've started writing again, don't you know? Let's get around for each of the patrons, shall we?
Oh, that's good. And immediately, people begin cheering your name. People people that are sitting on some tables having food down below you are whispering about you. You can hear your name being whispered. And when she brings your drinks and the drinks to the rest of the people, she does ask, "Shall I prepare the stage for you tonight, sir?"
I will be playing this eventide. I'm feeling particularly melancholy today, so prepare the crowd for an epic.
Which story are we going for?
Perhaps one of the classics. The soiree with Serpientes, perhaps.
Oh,
I will be feeling nostalgic, yes. Darth Gwendeth. Classic.
One of my favourite villains, I must say.
Truly despicable. Obviously, it's very, very one of the greatest works of fiction, and indeed deepest truth when she flipped to the side of righteous.
Ah, yes. Ah, best villain. Puts hand to her heart and walks off. Although, she comes back and goes, the way that villain, the little goblin girl, Fixer, she's my favourite.
Well, some villains are so grotesque they just leap off the page.
Yes, and she leaves. So Chester, your evening continues on with you telling the tale upon the stage, working the crowd. At this point, we'll have Elspeth. You hear the telltale sound of your bell being dinged, I'm assuming as Lanneiros, and all and teleport straight to the address. And it's a
Elspeth had like a lot of time on her hands, so I imagine there's like just a bunch of death machines in this entire building. So one just opens the door.
Mm-hmm.
Has a cannon on top. They all have the cannon on top. It's not a very inviting workshop. It just descends down into darkness. You can hear like a clang, clang from deep down.
Oh, wow. Elspeth did manage to turn herself into a automaton. It looks a bit scratchy, though. Sorry to say, Elspeth, but you're looking a little worse than you used to.
Would you like to see the artwork?
I think he's just talking about the random death robot, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
fine.
death robot.
But
Yeah.
for now,
You look shitty.
the new token.
Shiny blade.
And like the death robot obviously doesn't do anything because it's designed to open doors and shoot people.
Mm-hmm. So it's been some
Still
time.
as sullen as before, though.
Never been the most talkative type, but I don't think this is her. Shall we head down?
I guess so.
Okay. So like Elspeth, they descend like how many steps to get to you?
Yeah. An excessive amount.
Mm.
Like if someone would ask you to move furniture in this building, you would never speak to them again.
I just cast fly. It's a signature spell for me, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, Lanneiros.
And since I can cast anything that's non-epic at level 5, I'll just cast it on Alwyn as well, so you don't have to walk all the steps. It's bad for your knees.
Thanks very much.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards.
And just float down.
Yep.
Elsa stops working and throws the arm she just finished on a big pile of just arms. I'll figure out which one is good later. So, Chester is dead.
I said no. Chester's not dead.
He might
We
have
don't
died
know
since.
what's up with Chester. Maybe, but we don't know is what we're saying.
But you do realize I've told you never to contact me again, and you've contacted me because you don't know what's with Chester?
Thought you'd be interested.
Right. I do owe him one favor. Single
do?
favor. It's because, you know, he plastered my soul back together.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that would warrant a favor.
Helping him once is the minimum you can do for that, I thought. So I will tag along, if you know where Chester is.
We don't, but we think we can find it easy enough.
Have you checked for a giant building with his face on it?
It's very close to what I thought anyway.
Might be a building with Macy's face on it.
No, I doubt it. It's gonna be his.
Maybe they're divorced by now. I wasn't betting on it. I didn't get invited to the marriage, the wedding.
I don't think any of us did.
I just thought, you know, save the world together, he would invite me to the wedding. I wouldn't have gone, but I did want to get invited.
I thought at least we'd get an invite so he'd have more material to exploit us from.
He did put me in his book. It has been a sore note in my otherwise outstanding life to be in that hogwash of a book. I can't even sign stuff with my name anymore Because they're like, that's from the book, isn't it?
Yeah, I know how it is.
What's Elspeth on a sword? Oh, it's this merchandise.
Dying over here.
Greatest craft on all the lands makes you a weapon. Oh, is this related to Chester Decker? How? He's never held a sword. I'm having a moment. Give me a second.
Quite alright. Take your time, get it out your system. Probably best you do now anyway.
Let me put the world-ending weapons in my bag of holding to travel. And she takes the sword of a god she killed, an eldritch being, and puts it into her bag of holding. And some armor into the bag of holding. Oof. Okay, I'm good to travel. We'll be teleporting, right?
Well, unless you want to walk to Longinia.
I don't even want to walk up these stairs. I was gonna build an elevator, but I got sidetracked.
You should. I mean, you're literally an artificer. Do us a favor, in case we ever do come back.
You can fly. I can also fly. It would really just be for peasants that come over.
Yeah, alright.
And the death machines, because they're not very good at going downstairs. They kind of just...
Yeah, you turn around, there's one bumping into the bottom step, just over and over.
They're designed to murder, not for stairs.
It's like a cow. Bad knees.
It's like, you do understand it. Nice beard, by the way.
Thank you. It's growing on me. Literally.
Oh, funny how humans work. And also it was good to travel.
Alright.
Longevity with this then.
That was a scene and a half. That was well played. Anyway, so are you teleporting straight to Longinia, yeah? So you've been to the Decker estate before. I mean, that's where you went to go find Maisie trapped in her crystalline structure before. And when you arrive on the estate, you do hear some cheering down the street. But in front of you, the wrought iron doors are open. And you see no lights inside. And at this point, night has risen. Sorry, so it's like night has descended and the skies are dark. But you can hear like sounds of the street and the city around you. Chester does live in a well-to-do area with gardens and like the roads are lined with like trees tended to by magic. And as you walk in, he has like a knocker, but it's of his face.
You were close.
That is the most gaudy thing a craftsman had ever had the displeasure of making. And I hope they died after finishing it, or before finishing it, and someone else had to finish it who also died.
Who wants to do the honors then? I mean...
I'm not touching that.
You have to touch his face, but you do get to smash the hell out of it against the wood.
You just see Lanneiros' mage hand just hover up and go.
Yeah, so there's a knock, and then like a good long pause, and then a minute, and then the door slowly opens, and you sense somebody there, and then coming out of invisibility, you see Maisie. Her long blonde hair is like down and bedraggled slightly. She yawns. She's wearing a bathrobe of some sort, and she just folds her arms and goes, "Oh, it's you lot."
What are you?
Maisie, we fought together in the Feywild.
Ah.
Or did we? See, I get the stories confused. No, we didn't, did we? Oh, I'm the one with the personality. Kept changing because my soul was split.
You're the one who's kind of nuts, yeah, okay.
I'm not... No, take that back. I'm not nuts anymore. Take that back now!
She seems a bit nuts still, doesn't she?
sighs. Look,
I mean, her soul was split, like yours, so, you should have common ground here.
I came out well, though.
yeah, you got the
Well-
resting bitch face, and I got the I got the personality problems.
Seems like I won out.
Anyway, if you're after your friend Chester, he'll be off getting drunk again, down at the Wretched Swan. The reason I was invisible is because I was having a nap and he was trying to find me.
So this whole marriage thing working out well for you.
Incredibly so. He's rich, remember?
How could anyone forget how rich Chester Decker is?
I mean, I'm
Or
his
that he's,
accountant.
like, the greatest person in the world, or the bravest person in the world, or the strongest person in the world, right?
So, enjoy your evening, and she closes the door.
Shouldn't
Fair
we
point.
inform her about Chester Decker being in danger?
I'm not sure she's
No,
too
it'll
fussed
only
about
excite
it.
her. We wouldn't want to get our hopes up.
So we're going to Chester's partying then.
Just follow the noise, I'm guessing.
And that is
Let's
indeed...
avoid all authorities. I haven't paid property tax in Longinia in the last decade.
Okay, you've got a workshop here.
Yes, it works.
Forgot about that. Yeah, so you do indeed follow the noise, and down the street there is a 3-story large tavern house. And as you approach, there seems to be a half ogre-ish looking bouncer. And as you walk up, he stands in the way. And in there, you can hear some cheering and the unmistakable voice of the orator's loud, drunken's voice of Chester in the background. But the half ogre steps in the way and goes, "No, no, you don't get in."
Well, Chester's fine. It was nice meeting all of you again. Please teleport me home, Owen.
Come on, you can come in for a while.
Well, I can't. The man has said I'm not allowed in.
Who are you?
Since when do you listen?
Who are all of you?
We're here to see Chester, and not because we want to watch his performance. We can do without that.
Well, you need to
Yeah.
join the queue.
He might tell us the same thing, but he'd be very wrong to do so. We don't need to go in. You can tell him to come out. He can decide what he prefers.
One moment. And he disappears. The door closes. Chester. Nibbles walks up to you at the stage. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. But there are people outside saying they need to speak to you. One's an elf. One's, looks like the Backstreet Boys, but they've done a lot of crack. And the other one, the other one has got a rested bitch face that could split stone in half.
Wait, am I the one with the bitch face, or are you the one with the bitch face, Lanneiros? Because we're both elf adjacent.
You don't say. Well, I couldn't be. Send them in. I would like them to see the end of my show. Of course, get them around. I'll pay.
Of course. The half ogre walks back out and goes, so follow me. You can come to the VIP booth. And he leads you into a stuffy, large, but almost warm, too warm inside because there's a lot of people. But he leads you to a VIP booth, which is like a horseshoe shape with a table in the middle, and a bottle of wine and a round of ales is put onto the table. And as he disappears, and you look over the crowd, you can see Chester. Well, Chester, explain. Are you that much bigger? Explain the difference between then and now.
He is fatter, and as he's sort of he's still wearing the clothes of his glory days, probably even exactly the same ones, but potentially just been sort of re-bleached and re-dyed out of a sense of nostalgia. He's got a slight double chin now. He hasn't got sort of that. It's not the youthful pudgy look. It's now sort of the gross aging look, just a little bit. But he's still very much a flashy ponce.
Mm-hmm.
And as you step in, you can just hear, "I can't believe it, I said to Darth Gwendeth. You killed all the younglings. And Darth turned around and said to me, "You underestimate my power." "Don't try it," I said. "I have the high ground." And as Darth sprung, I sliced my rapier, and he slid down the bank. In two. He sort of like gives you guys a little wave. Like a casual wave.
There's silence among the crowd. And then clapping.
And as Darth Gwenda fell down the bank, he was joined by an evil greater still, cloaked in a dark robe. The evil, insidious Darth Elspeth. And good friends, I must leave it there for tonight, because I have company of which I have not yet had in years. If you wish to hear more about Darth Elspeth, and perhaps my new book, Lemony Asteroid, A New Hope, I shall see you upon the morrow. And good day.
No, you're right. Chester Decker is in grave danger. Let me
Being slapped.
get my god-slaying sword out. 1 second.
Nibbles, a magnum of mead, if you will.
Of course.
Gentlemen! I cannot believe... Elspeth, I cannot believe it. It's been some time and a bit.
It has been not long enough.
I miss your wit. Did you enjoy the story? It's a new one.
Now, Master Decker, correct me if I'm wrong. This Gwendeth, didn't she slay a dragon and save a city in Mokal?
No, I distinctly remember her killing younglings and her own kin. But, alas, it's... No, to what can I do you pleasure? Stay, drink the evening away. I was merely thinking a moment ago that I was going to go find you. Good friends, one and all. Alwyn, you've changed your hair color.
Wait, why are we here again?
You want to take this one, Lanneiros?
Not
We're here to
particularly.
drink and be merry in the city of my fathers. Lanneiros, 2 megasecond ping. Love it.
I'll certainly
we
take that
could-
drink, that's for sure.
We could just leave, you know. I really do have better things to do.
Yeah, I have to make
And,
that elevator.
Nonsense. Join me in my
Precisely.
booth. This is the finest establishment in Longinia. Anyway, please sit. It's been too long. We must reminisce about old times.
Yes, about those times with Dark Gwendeth and Dark Elsa.
When I killed younglings with this dwarf I have never met. What is a youngling?
No. You didn't kill younglings. Gwendeth killed younglings. You just mechanically built her body up with your artificing skills afterwards. Anyway, you can read it all in my latest book. I'll send you a free copy. Gentlemen, that's by the by. You weren't at my wedding.
You didn't send an invite.
Ah, that was Maisie's job. There must be some reason for this happy reunion. You 3 together and us here. It can't be fate.
It can't be fate, or it can't be a coincidence.
Whichever.
And Lanneiros just grabs like a big pint of meat and just chugs it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
So, the Storm Soul teleported into the throne room of Nuneria, promptly got turned to stone, but not before uttering Chester Decker with his dying breath.
Storm Soul. Old guy, long hair, likes DIY.
I had to spit my drink back in the can. That's so gross. He's a sod.
is the best one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you know what? I'm drinking that still.
Jesus.
Well, that is very troubling. I'm touched you come all this way to warn little old me. The question
What's your
is,
involvement here?
well, truth be told, I don't do much these days. I do a bit of cardio here and there, but other than that, I don't really leave the city. I can't shed any light on it any more than you can.
Well, I must have had a reason to mention your name, so I think it's time to pack up your stuff.
Well, it's been an adventure is overdue. Well, the problem is I'm not many a friend on the continents. Any of you got a sofa I can crash on or something?
I don't think anyone of us will have a place to crash on where we're going.
Well, she has a moon.
I have not officially claimed the moon yet. I would like you to stop spreading that before I've done it, because it diminishes the moment.
Ah, right you are. Well,
It's a long-term goal.
there must be someone who can shed a little light. An old acquaintance. We go on a little journey. Do you remember we used to trot about all quaint and happy?
It's like halfway midway the sentence, I just cast teleport.
Where to?
Back to the throne room.
Okay, are you taking everyone with you, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so immediately, Chester, there's like a flash of light. And you just appear in a room that you do remember. It hasn't changed much, except the table has changed. And you land, like, wine glass in hand, in the moonlit shield, the New Nerian Palace, with the moonlight blazing through. And as you do, you see Macro go, oh, you gotta stop doing that. He like holds his chest. He goes, scaring the crap out of me every time.
Dark bears live that long.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, good macra.
Chester! And he stands up and goes to give you a hug. You've got...
Hug him back.
He grabs both of your arms, picks you up, looks you up and down and goes, you've got... musclier.
Well, yes, I try. Maisie insists that we subscribe to Peloton Tread or some nonsense.
Well, obviously you're always welcome here, your old chum. Puts his arm around you.
I distinctly remember you getting, well...
Killed?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that duel was a stupid idea, wasn't it?
It was.
Well,
Yeah.
this would make
but-
back from the dead.
Fixer and Mimu, they killed that Yolway guy. You know, they got my hammer back.
Little scamps.
They
Oh,
found
no.
they got my body.
Oh, Mimo and Fixer.
Oh, well, I guess they're currently doing what they do best. I don't know where Fixer is. I haven't seen her in several years, but Mimu's in her room.
No, who?
That is silence.
There is very little kids.
Very little kids? Are they around?
No, they used to hang out in that the telescope place where you couldn't feed them after midnight or you couldn't get them wet.
Oh, I don't remember.
One of them was really creepy and knew a lot, and one of them was like a little bit of a psychopath.
Oh, the pets of that place.
Yes,
The stabby teddy bear.
Yeah.
Oh no! I get it. Yeah, no, I do remember the stabby teddy bears.
Yeah.
Bakra, my favorite stabby teddy bear.
Yes. Well,
Speaking of which, Mimu had a vision. Do you speak to her at all?
you talk to Macra.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's my daughter, and she's just down the hall. So, will you want me to go get her?
No, that's all right. I was just wondering how your relationship was going, because previously...
The door opens. Mimu walks in. You wanted me? Very much.
Ah, fair Mimu, you are a sight to behold.
So, Mimu, 10 years later, is taller than all of you. Standing at 7 foot, when she was last time we saw her, she was about 3.5. She's typical for a bugbear female, muscular but lean. And as she walks in, she's wearing like leathers, like almost kind of like guard leathers with tie breeches, enough so that her fur can escape around like the back. And as she walks in, she gives her father a hug and a kiss on the cheek, and she's become almost graceful. And as you stare at her, you see that she's got a couple of scars on her face. Obviously, the core soul didn't see those coming, but she does say to Chester, "It's good to see you again, Uncle Chester." And she leans in to give you a hug.
You have gotten fair and wise in your old age.
I'm 17.
Right, well, what?
They are halfway there. How long do bugbears live? I keep asking that question.
It looks towards her father and goes, leans into you, Elspeth, and goes, 55. He needs to stop eating cheese. But
That's the smell.
yeah, Bakrar's looking older now, of course. He's probably a bugbear in his 40s now. But Mimu says, yes, the dream was disturbing. And she turns to Chester and goes, despite all that you did for us back then, the blessing that you got for us, for me and Fixer, it did end up wearing off. I'm no longer immortal. Remember, Chester? You don't remember, do you? You don't. I can see it in your face.
Oh, not being immortal, that must be so tough for you. However will you live not being immortal?
She
I
turns...
can't even imagine.
Well, they weren't immortal. They were also invulnerable.
After 17 years, you wouldn't really know the difference, right?
Let's just say I can get hurt again. And it's only been happening recently. So that means my sister, wherever she is, could also be hurt. But we're not dealing with that at the moment. We're dealing with this. And she puts her hands, and you see like her bugbear fingernails are long and pointed and black. And she points at the statue of Kroll-Mella, or the petrified body of Kroll-Mella, on the table. Just so you guys are aware, there is a pile of like not arrowheads, but like arrow flights on the table. They snapped off when he rolled onto it. But the arrows that are embedded in him are still petrified. But he brings them up for you guys to like. She brings them up for you guys to like inspect. She just says, "These are what snapped off when he rolled onto his back, and he called for you, Chester. Lord knows why. Mayhaps it was because he knew that you may be able to unite them. You guys."
Could be a scream of rage. Have you considered that? Fucking Chester.
It could have been.
It could be a scream of ecstasy.
Were you guys
feel like,
previously in such a relationship?
No, but you never can tell. Just the other day, one woman wrote to me, and it was quite lewd.
Mimu goes, "Oh, why did you have to say that? Oh no." She puts her hands to her head and she's like, "You know I can see things. Why would you do
did
that?"
Didn't you? It was a scratch and spit.
Oh, and she's like, "Oh no!" Like Mimu's like, "For God's sake, I forgot you were like this." You know, you get all the good memories all the bad memories get replaced by like nostalgia.
Okay, he does get a lot of good press, so sometimes it's hard to imagine what he's really like. But
I
then
know.
you remember him saying something completely stupid after you've just saved the world, and you're like, "Yep, this is a lie.
To be
That
fair,
can't be right. What's in that book?"
to be fair, he did portray me and my sister quite affectionately in the book, so I have that to. Well, for you guys, it was less.
Portray or betray.
No, he actually portrayed us quite nicely.
He didn't in my case.
I know.
Well, you've only really just appeared on the scene, Elspeth. In truth, it's what you do with the moon and what you use it for that gets quite diabolical.
Oh no! I didn't realize what you were going to do. It took that long to realise what you're going to do. Oh, okay.
Esther, I've been preparing for years to climb the moon, and you've ruined the moment for me.
Well, no one's going to trust you, put it that way.
I asked to be kept out of your books. We saved the world together. I asked you for one simple favor. Don't put me in the fucking books.
Well, good Elspeth. Assist me now upon clearing whatever this nonsense is, and perhaps I shall reconsider.
I go by a different name. I've struck every association, Chester.
Vinod, it's not too late. I'm in early stage draft. It perhaps could be another antagonist, Darth Alwyn the Wise, or something along those lines. But it'll be good. Let us move on to more pressing matters.
Yes, can we unstone the man?
Perhaps.
Potentially.
Give me a moment, because I'm actually quite poor at remembering what I
Have a
can
look
do.
at the fletchings in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't want to help you, Todd, but masterpiece. Anyway.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going. Yeah. Particularly something along the note of fortitude.
I could chisel him into a more pleasant statue to look at.
But that only restores the world's balance. You immediately end the blinded, deaf, and frightened, paralyzed, petrified. I can do it.
Does this spell also restore a lot of blood?
It.
Because the trail over here says he probably needs some.
No,
I did bring the wonder feeling, so
I can only really remove the actual affliction itself. I'll work on that, and then Elspeth can do what she does best with a large stick in a rectal area.
it's a rod of resurrection, Chester.
Is it?
It is a legendary magic item.
Multi-purpose, though, I bet.
I have not used the rod in such a manner.
Right you are. Should we lead the way?
How sturdy is it?
The rod? I don't know. I told you I didn't use it in such a manner.
No, I'm not talking about that. Do you think it can break easily?
Probably splinters.
Big Lanneiros is talking about something else, and then they guys are like, okay.
No, I'm just wondering, like, do you think it will break if I were to hit it against something?
Are we talking about the rod or the statue?
The rod.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the statue.
No, the rod's a magic item, so it shouldn't break.
Can I have it for a second?
You want my rod of resurrection?
You'll have it back in like 15 seconds, I promise.
I'll just handle Lanneiros my staff because I think I get where he's going with it.
I'll just whack.
Yeah.
Just over the head.
Donk.
Oh! Do you want...
You see?
Oh.
Well, in that case, it also gets out her bag of holding and pulls out turfing.
Yeah, the huge ass sword, like.
Please bonk him with this.
Let's see what Chester's response is. Yes. Maybe, Chester, for a moment you could stop being flippant and we can actually get something done.
Of course, right you are. Let me know when you are ready.
We have been ready. We've been waiting for you.
Allow me to get out my loot.
How does the loot feature into this?
Let me just tune it. Ding, ding.
It's in a constellation. I thought he said lewd.
Ding. Ding.
I wouldn't want him to get nude.
I'm about to play my masterpiece. Are you ready?
It doesn't help.
I need silence in the room, please.
If my name comes up, I will break your loot.
Very well. I would need absolute silence and focus. Ding, 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 ding. Fuck off, Stone.
Oh my god, that was so good. Oh. Yeah, so I'm assuming you're doing your partial.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do it partially. And as you say that, like, the stone is literally fucked off, you know, like, poof, just bursts from Kroll Mela. His arm goes limp, the rod drops through him, and he goes, ah! Ah! Blood sprays out of his snout, and then he tries to stand up, and you see crackle of lightning burst from his palm, and Mimu pushes her dad out of the way, pushes Makra out of the way, and then Kroll stands and he just stares wild-eyed at all of you, just confused, bewildered, hurt, blood pumps down his copper green scales, and he just says, "Oh, Chester!" So, what are people doing?
Elspeth?
Oh, I was supposed to heal him. I'm sorry. I was watching him die. It was very interesting. Elspeth casts heal on him with the thingamajig, the Rod of Resurrection.
Yep, so poof, and immediately, like, the wounds close up, the arrowheads protrude out. Slowly, his back arcs, you see sparks run up and down his entire body, and then he just takes a deep breath, blood still dripping from his, fangs, and you can see all the blood between his fangs and dripping from his lips. Okay, and you see he takes, deep breath. Obviously, from his point of view, he's gone from, it's the last 10 seconds has gone from whatever he was doing to, suddenly on a table. His adrenaline is still kicked in, and he's just like, Harley Aiden. Harley Aiden, where is Harley Aiden?
He's not here.
Fuck! Adawan?
You're the only one that came here.
Shit!
He just came through, muttered something about a vision, muttered something about Chester Decker, and then got turned to stone.
Oh yeah, that was just dying words. I don't know why I said that.
What?
Interesting.
Oh,
But you were just saying Chester Decker in your last mortal moments. That's just some words you could think of.
No, I've been reading his book and on the last chapter, and that's the last thing I was thinking of. I'm not going to be able to finish the book.
That you were worried about that in your dying moments, not finishing Chester's book.
Lanneiros is strongly considering just turning around and leaving.
No.
Your last mortal moment on this earth, and you were thinking of Chester Decker's book.
Have you read it? It's actually quite interesting. But no, look. This isn't what. I think I wanted Chester to get you. And he looks at Alwyn. You still got that rod?
The same as the one you're holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, good, because you're going to Ruin to fix what you fucked up. Yeah, so at this point...
Explain a little more?
At this point, he does roll off the table, and there's, bits on the floor, and he, looks at the hunk of, stale bread, picks it up, begins chewing it. Right, so whatever you did, right, you teleported, or you plane shifted, or you fucking sent that guy to Ruin, right?
Oh, shit.
No, you listen to me.
Guy.
Yeah, you listen to me, right? Then what he did was he joined Balan, right? And he looked exactly like our Dolaf. Yeah? Do you get what you did? He was able to get in to Algaron. Basically himself. He murdered our Dolaf, the good Dolaf, because you sent him there. Then, for some bizarre reason, his reasoning was that he could be with Otkatla forever if he pretended to be the good Dolaf. Anyway, a group of basic bitch adventurers, right? Heroes. We call them the heroes of Algaron now. They fought him off. But in his dying moments, turns out he's infected with something, right? Some disease. It's all tentacles and oil and all kinds of hideous otherworldly shit. Anyway, he escaped Algaron. Harley Aiden and me chase him. Meanwhile, we come across Adawan. Not our Adawan, your Adawan. Somehow he's in our realm. Looking for his son. So we team up. We got to stop this. Turns out, your Dolaf, not my Dolaf, the one that's dead, because he was a nice guy. Your
There's
Dolaf.
way too many Dolafs in the story.
Yeah, it's getting a bit confusing. Anyway, he gets to the for some reason, he gets to, like, Mistra's tomb in Mokul. Right? And I'm
Your
like,
mistress tomb.
Yeah, our Mistra's tomb.
Okay.
He goes in. At this point, we catch up to him. Then, suddenly, arrows everywhere. Like, we're talking hundreds. We're pinned down. And then this beast comes out of the tomb. Like its body is made up of, like, stone and it's just... And its head, it's a Medusa, right? But it's none that I've ever fought before, ever heard of. It takes us out. Completely. Now, why would that Dolaf be heading to the tomb of Mistra? Well, we don't know. Oh, okay, I'm done. Right, I'm done. He sits in his seat. Oh, and picks up like some sort of scrap from the table. He's eating it.
Didn't we fight a Medusa in the tomb of Mistra?
Just to let you guys know, you fought a Valkyrie that was holding...
The head of Medusa.
Yeah, the head of the first ever Medusa.
Well, this could not be better or more fortuitous timing, could it, gentlemen? And Elspeth.
I mean, it could have slightly better timing.
Look,
As in, not at all.
with a need of having fresh material for my new novel. There's Elspeth needing a way out of my newest draft, and here's some fresh material for us. Like the days of old. We can go on a little jaunt.
Yeah, but this is a different dimension. Why do we give a shit?
I mean, I give a little bit of a shit because, well, it was maybe my fault, so...
Yeah, but you have this
Yeah.
nice beard now, so... You know, let bygones be bygones. You're a different person. You've
Yes,
wisened up.
you use peroxide pretty well, too.
Yeah, it's always been that colour naturally, thank you very much. You know that.
Not true.
I'll believe Chester. He's an expert on things not being true.
Ooh.
Yeah. Good shade. I'm going to use that. He writes it down in his little diary. Chester said, ask Elspeth. She's an expert in things that are not true. What say you, Lanneiros? You're always up for a vaunted jaunt. Wouldn't it be good to be the big bad for once? Us four, super powerful these days. Well, us three.
What?
Would you join us on a little venture, little tete-a-tete?
Why us three?
Well, Ixnay on the Elspeth.
Again?
Yes. Us four, very intrepid and powerful magicians, could go and knock this out in an afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be such a walk in the park as you imagine, but we didn't come to fetch you for no reason.
Nonsense. We beat the king in yellow. There's no one worse than that. We did that together.
There's
Us
someone
with our
worse than that in the
powerful
room right
spells.
Did we do that
Elspeth-
together? Because it doesn't say that in your book.
Elspeth with our tool belt. Making, tables for snacks and such.
I also don't remember that being a particular walk in the park.
It wasn't. But what I'm saying is we're stronger for it.
He grabbed me by the neck and infused my body with some dastardly energy from beyond the stars and nearly rotted me in one go.
Right, you are, but I'm just saying this will be easier. We'll be in and out like Elspeth's Rod of Resurrection.
Also, hands, Lanneiros, a Rod of Resurrection.
You might want to use a baby wipe on that.
I will never appear in one of your books again.
Right, you are. If you come with us, that's a good deal I'm willing to make. Gentlemen, I miss it. I'm stuck at home all day, and Maisie's like, have you...
Look, why are you trying to argue for this? We came to get you to do this, so why are you trying to...
No, I'm making a deal right now, and you will, in future editions of these books, change the name of the character from Elspeth.
I swear upon my mother's milk.
Meaning?
Meaning, I will change the name of that character.
Alright, that's enough.
To...
Well, something. I am. A creator needs time to create.
It cannot sound similar to Elspeth.
Right, you are?
Okay.
Do we have an accord?
They came to get you to do this, and I have a bit of a creative breakdown, so I need something to do anyway.
Right. So it is settled. Myself, Alwyn the sorcerer, Lanneiros the powerful goat man, the dark artificer. Let's go.
Before we do go, is there anything else you can tell us? Turning to Cruel.
Crawl's like looking up at Mimu's looking at him. And they got like an accord, being both like parts of the world, so they must like sort of like feel it. But then Mimu just sits down and Kroll goes, "Yeah, if you're gonna go, Balan's a little bit distracted at this point. So you know, like when you've teleported there before, his ability to see the future knows where you're going to appear, and he sends the Valkyr after you, right? Well, there's a small group of like people that he's currently more obsessed with. The core soul has given him some sort of vision that the ruin is going to be more ruined, if you know what I mean. He's got like a vision that let's just say his court says he's paranoid and keeps talking about the Grey Prince is coming for him and stuff. So he hasn't left Torrentia in like a year now. So some sort of weird prophecy of his death, and he believes it, right? So you're good to go to Ruin, but if I were you, I wouldn't go to Neria. Like, I wouldn't land in this exact spot. A little thing that you should know in Ruin is, well, Neria doesn't exist. Well, it does, but it's not as grand as the city.
Isn't it a supercontinent in Ruin? I don't much remember Ruin.
Not exactly. They're not a supercontinent, but yeah. A lot of the lesser Midgard and all of the islands are like connected. And then Rayupsus, the continent you're on right now, is also connected to Britonia and Asia and all the Million Islands. So there's two supercontinents, right? Also, what you should know is the God King never kind of existed. So Neria was never built up to more than just a port. The monolith is still there, though.
Well,
And is the tomb in the same place? That's where he was, right? Donath.
He was, I think, at the tomb of Mistra. Well,
That's what I said, right?
Yeah. Oh,
do you think if we go to the monolith in Neria, you know, the thing that has become the palace in our world, we can nab some more of those arcane warheads?
Potentially.
Probably not.
It's worth to
Different
consider on
place,
the
it's all
way back out.
topsy-turvy, isn't it? We can certainly have a look, but I would doubt it. So, he was at the tomb, right?
yeah.
So we could head straight there.
Yeah.
Oh, this seems
If
like
you're ready,
a
then.
in and out kind of deal.
Are you just doing that on purpose now?
Look, just because I'm allowed
Playing
to
shift.
also make jokes.
Are you plane shifting, did you say?
Yep.
We all good to go?
Like, Elspeth scrambles to put on her armor and stuff, but she takes like one action to don her armor, so it's a bit quick.
Okie dokie. Right, okay. We'll go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break. while I prepare the next leg of this journey. So we'll be back soon.